What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have something that I want to talk to you guys about today. Have you ever had a guy, whether it was like a random stranger that you met at a bar, or a friend that you've had for a long time, or just a random interaction you've had with somebody on the internet, and this guy was like obsessed with making up scenarios in his head about how like he would be able to stop a mass shooter. He would rush into a burning building and save his wife and children. He has these daydreams about getting into fights and like, you know, having someone break into his house and what he would do to the intruder. How many of those guys who have said these things to you, or who you may have seen ranting about it on Twitter, would actually do the things that they fantasized about? How many of these types of guys would actually step up and step into this protector role that they've cast themselves in their head if they were faced with that situation in real life? That's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that has been dubbed the male protector myth. Now, I feel qualified to talk about this topic and this complex, I guess, that you could call it, because I lived life as a female. I identified as a female from birth until about 16, 17 years of age. Now, as a 24-year-old, I've been living as a man and passing as a man and identifying as a man since, like I said, I was like 17, 18. So that's about like, what, 6, 7 years ago. So I feel qualified to talk about this because I've experienced this on both sides of the gender spectrum, both as a female and as a male, okay? And I feel like there has been quite a lot of events or instances just in 2023 alone that have kind of centered around this issue, this complex, this myth, male protector myth. And it's just really been like gnawing at the back of my brain, and I needed to come on here and talk to you guys about it and get your opinion or your thoughts on this entire thing. So, for example, let's go through some of these events. The main 3 events that made me want to make a video about this, first of all, was when Megan Thee Stallion was shot by Tory Lanes. Of course, the shooting happened a couple years ago, but it was only, I think, in 2022 or early 2023 when Tory Lanes was sentenced. Everybody was calling Megan a liar. Everybody was saying that, you know, she must have done something that caused Tory Lanes to shoot her, when in reality, it was just basically a date night gone wrong, you know, and it was not Megan's fault. It was the guy who fucking shot her in the foot with a gun's fault. In May of 2023, in New Delhi, there was a horrible instance where a 16-year-old girl was stabbed 40 times by a 20-year-old man and then had her face bashed in with a stone only because she rejected his advances. She was said that she was not interested. And there is, unfortunately, video evidence of this crime on the internet. I'm not going to show it on here because although part of it is censored, it's still extremely graphic. It's traumatizing to watch, but I will show a little screen cap here for you guys so that you can see just how many men there were standing around. And there's more than just in this screen cap. There's quite a few instances in the video where more men just walk through the screen and nobody does anything. Nobody steps in to help. Nobody tries to fight the guy off. Nobody tries to save this little girl's life. Just a truly horrible instance of violence against women. And then the third and final thing that really solidified in my head the need to make a video like this was in September of 2023 in my home state of Texas. There was an instance where a woman had her head bashed with a brick because she would not give a man her number. Of course, in this era of social media and internet, there is a video evidence of this horrible, or the aftermath of this horrible attack on her. She posted videos where she was in the hospital crying. You can clearly see her face is just absolutely mangled.
Have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men, and he hits me in my face, and then they're all just watching.
And then there's another video, I'm assuming it's directly after the attack took place, where she is confronting a group of men that were standing around while she was being attacked and who refused to step in, who refused to stand up to this other man, who refused to offer any sort of help really for this poor woman. And they actually in the video were calling out to her and saying like things like, oh, well, you know, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just give him your number? Like, and it's just,
yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch and they don't give a fuck. Grabbed a rock and it hit me in my fucking face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just fucking watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What do y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something.
So the reason that these three instances, these three events really stuck out to me is because it really drove home the thought process, or like the idea, I guess, that a man's or men's protection is conditional. Men will offer protection to women that they find attractive and that they think are subservient and will bend to their every whim. But the second that a man gets emotional, or the second that a man feels emasculated, they will revoke that protection without second thought. But I wanted to let you guys in on, I wouldn't call it a secret because it's pretty well known, and anybody who has ever done any sort of like research on this topic or has any sort of like real world experience with this sort of alpha male red pill man can tell you this. Men are scared of other men. Like, that is just an undeniable fact. Have you ever had a male figure in your life tell you, oh, you can't go out wearing that, it's too revealing, or oh, I don't want you going out to that party or that club, there's going to be too many guys? Have you ever had like a male figure in your life say anything like that to you? The reason that they say those things is because they know what goes through men's minds when they see a woman wearing a revealing outfit, or when they see women at the club drinking, getting drunk, feeling tipsy, dancing, having a good time. They understand the thought process that goes on in a predatory man's mind, and they're scared of what that predatory man will do.
I'm not afforded the luxury as a protector to trust just random men. The risk is too high. It's too high for me to play that type of game.
Men are terrified of having these situations happen to them because they know deep down that they are not the actual alpha male protector that they claim to be. And they know that if it came down to it, if a situation like that were to actually happen, they would probably get their shit rocked. Let's circle back to the guy that we talked about in the beginning of this video, in the introduction of this video. The guy who fantasizes and has these violent daydreams, basically. Most of these guys that are saying, oh yeah, if I ever had like somebody breaking into my house, I would hide behind the door with a gun, and then I would like spin around and I would shoot him, and I would like bro, you're not John Wick, okay? And that's fine. You don't have to be fucking John Wick. Most of these guys are putting on a front. Most of these guys are they're just acting like a tough guy in order to compensate for the actual fear that they feel towards other men. It's like a tornado or a hurricane, you know, and it's just going, all this tough guy personage is just like spinning and spinning and spinning, but once you get to the center of the issue, it's fear of men, and it has always been a fear of men.
Who are you protecting us from, you guys? If it's not all men, and every man that I ask, it's never them or anyone they know.
Most guys, when they consume this sort of like alpha male red pill content online, and then just take whatever they've seen online and go out and just regurgitate it without thinking about the consequences of the things that they're saying in real life, they will get immediately folded whenever an actual situation comes up where they have to be that alpha male. And that's what makes this alpha male fantasy so dangerous for men, is because it makes them feel invincible. They don't comprehend that some of these red pill alpha male type guys online are not like that in real life. They don't act like that in real life. It's just an online persona that they put on. So these regular Joes consume this content, internalize it, make it their whole personality, and then when they go out, they feel invincible and they feel like they could take on any threat, no matter how big, and they're folded instantly. There are thousands, if not millions, of men in prison around the world, or dead around the world, because they felt like they were invincible. It's incredibly dangerous. It runs deeper than just an individual's thoughts and feelings. It's kind of ingrained into the way that society raises men. How many times has a fatherly figure in your life, or a male figure who you looked up to in your life, told you, don't cry, boys don't cry, or berated you for showing any sort of emotion or any sort of weakness? How many times do fathers physically abuse or even just verbally abuse their sons because their son is not behaving the way that a man should behave?
There's booty cheeks out here. You in here looking for chips. You ain't gay, is you? Huh? Are you gay?
We could even talk about gun control in a situation like this. How many times have you had a conversation with somebody where all they could argue about for gun control is, oh no, we don't need to take away guns. We need guns. We just need more good guys with guns to defeat the bad guys with the guns. How many times have we seen literal cops, like actual good guys with guns who are trained and paid to be the good guy with the gun, not be the good guy with the gun. How many times have we seen literal body cam footage or security cam footage of cops not interacting with a violent criminal with a gun? They have this male protector fantasy in their head. They have this hero complex. They have this savior complex. But when it comes down to it, they are going to put themselves first. They are going to put their life ahead of the lives of others. At the core of it, at the base of it, I truly just believe that it is easier for men to turn around and blame women and children for the wrongdoings of men than it is for them to blame the actual men, because then it would mean also having to do some personal introspection and some personal work, and men just for some reason are incapable of doing that, or they're just so stubborn in their ways that they don't want to do that. Let's come up with a scenario where there's a man and his girlfriend and the man's best friend. The guy's girlfriend comes to him and says, "Hey, at this party yesterday, your best friend came and he assaulted me." In this situation, the man starts immediately blaming his girlfriend. "Well, you shouldn't have been drinking so much. Well, you shouldn't have been wearing that revealing dress that shows your boobs and your ass. Well, maybe you should have stayed by my side the entire party and never left my line of sight." Instead of taking accountability for his friend's actions and cutting off that friend, he finds it easier to throw his girlfriend under the bus, essentially, than stand up against his friend. Because standing up against his friend in this situation means admitting failure. It means admitting that he failed at being the protector that he is supposed to be, or that he claims to be. So instead of stepping up and confronting his friend, or just cutting off that friend entirely, or even just seeking, violent action, even just beating the shit out of his friend, he decides to turn his back on his girlfriend, on the woman, on the victim of the situation, and blame her. Anyways, like I was saying, at the end of the day, it's a societal problem, but societal problems cannot change until the individuals of the society first have to acknowledge that the problem exists, and second, have to start doing the work to fix the problem, to solve the problem. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk about that really quick. It's something that I've been thinking about a lot recently. It's something that I've been noticing more and more recently. I'm not sure if it's because it's becoming more prevalent in today's society with all of the alpha male red pill type creators online, or if it's just something that's become more obvious to us because of social media and because of these videos being posted by the victims of this male savior complex. If you guys have any thoughts about it, obviously you're more than welcome to leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for 8,000 subscribers. That's absolutely insane. I'm very, very grateful for all of your support. Thank you guys so much once again for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.